up, my beautiful dreamers, and welcome back for another video with your girl, Shalinda. I know, guys, I missed you guys so much. It feels so good to be recording again, and the truth is, I needed a break. I had to take a break. I was kind of forced to take a break. I had a lot going on, as you guys saw in my last video. It's all about Davion right now, who is my son. He is not my brother. He is not my husband. Somebody actually said that, ill. But that is my son. That is my baby boy. And he's graduating from high school. So it's really been all about him when it comes to prom and graduation and football and recruiting and picking a college and all that good stuff. So that is nearing towards its end. All we have left is graduation, which is in a couple of days. However, I needed to take a break. I'm finally back in my filming studio. Oh, I cannot begin to tell you how good it feels to be back in my studio. So I'm very happy to be back with you guys, and I had to jump on and do a full review on a new Covergirl. I received a huge PR package from Covergirl, and I'm so happy to be working with them on all their new foundations, guys. They came out with new. Yep, that just fell out. Okay, so guys, this wait. This is the PR package we got. Covergirl came out. I'm trying to put it to where you guys can see it. Covergirl came out with 40 shades of their new foundation. And as you can see, the light foundations is still a decent amount. I mean, it's still a lot. And we can definitely do more work at those darker shades. They also came out, guys, holding this is no joke. They also came out, as you can see down the middle, they came out with 4 primers. So I'm not mad at that. This was a beautiful PR package that we got. So I definitely wanted to come and bring you my opinion on this foundation. I made sure not to look at anyone else's review because you guys know how I feel about foundations. I love foundation reviews. I love doing foundation reviews for you guys. I feel like the foundation builds onto everything else. I feel like the skin, anything that's going to go onto the skin to help the skin look more healthy and enhanced in any type of way, I'm all for it. Eyeshadows, lipsticks, okay, highlighters, okay, but foundation is where it's at. So I definitely wanted to bring you my review and my thoughts on it. And guys, thank you so much for all the tags. I love that you guys are tagging me. You guys are tagging me a lot lately, and I'm loving it. So let's get started. Okay, so inside it comes with this little booklet, and it says, "Because we listened." And then it says, Covergirl set out to create a foundation that works for all skin types, minimizes pores, controls shine, feels comfortable on the skin, and stays put for 12 hours. Easy navigation with 4 shade ranges numbered from light to deep. So L for light, M for medium, T for tan, and D for dark. Warm, cool, and neutral undertones call out to help you find your perfect match. It does come with concealer, I have to say, but they didn't make as many concealers to match the foundation. Let me show you the concealers. So these are the concealers that they sent. And as you can see, that's not gonna work for me. None of those colors are gonna work for me, which is why you're not gonna see them in this video. I don't know the consistency, I don't know the quality, because the colors are so off that I didn't even give them a chance, to be honest with you. So I have here the 5 darkest shades. They range from D50 to D90, and this is D50, and I can pretty much tell you that that is way too light for me, so I'm not even going to swatch it, but this is what D50 look like. So the last 4 is what I'm going to swatch for you, so we can figure out what's that perfect color for me, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, let's get going. However, wait a minute. Did you subscribe yet? Guys, if you haven't subscribed, definitely want to go ahead and subscribe now so you never miss another video. And definitely become part of that notification squad, because I am finally back. Thank you, God, because I missed you guys so much. And you don't want to miss the next few videos. So go ahead and click that bell so you become a part of the notification squad, so you will know when I upload first. Okay? Did you do it? Did you do it? Good job. So now here we go. Okay guys, so we're gonna jump right in. I have the 4 darkest colors. I have D60, I have D70, I have D80, as well as their very darkest color, which is D90. Okay guys, so I have the 4 darkest shades swatched on my hand, and the first one is D60. The next one is D70. The next one is D80. And then the last one is D90. D90 is super dark. So no, that's not my color, but believe it or not, it might make a nice little bronzer, like a bronzing contour type thing maybe. So as of right now, I think my color actually would be between D70 and D80. If there was a color in between those two, that would be my color. So I'm going to mix those two. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so in regards to the primers that they have, I'm going to try, they have the 2 that I'm most interested in is the skin smoothing primer and then the pore minimizing. I don't feel like my pores are like ridiculous, so I'm gonna go with the skin smoothing one. And my face is moisturized. Let's see what this is talking about. It's pretty transparent, you ask me. I don't think it has a lot of a gray cast, maybe a tiny bit, but nothing that I feel like would be a problem. 2 pumps of the D70, and I'm gonna do 2 pumps of the D80. So I'm gonna do 1/2 with a beauty blender sponge, and then the other half with the brush, just because I really want to know, you know, which one gives me my life. You guys know, sometimes I like a sponge and sometimes I like a brush. It really honestly does depend on the foundation. So we're gonna go in with this side first, I guess. To take my very damp sponge and get to, and this is a beauty blender, guys. This is just a big one. It's more of a body beauty blender, but I use it on my face. And the 2 of them together is pretty much a match. Maybe just a little bit dark. But okay, so that's one application with the sponge. I'm not disliking it. To me, is this supposed to be a matte foundation? This is supposed to be matte. I'm not getting matte. I'm getting more. I'm not getting matte. I have to say, the primer looks more matte than the foundation there. I'm definitely not getting matte at all, which I prefer. So on this side, I'm gonna go in with a new brush that I got. I got makeup all over it already. I don't see how I did that. A new brush that I got from It Cosmetics, and this is their airbrush full coverage complexion brush. It has this like square thing to it. I've used it before, but I haven't showed you guys. Not hating this brush. Not hating this brush at all. You guys see why I say there's nothing matte? I don't see matte. Maybe, I don't know. Which applicator do I prefer? I think I prefer the sponge than the brush. Not that the brush doesn't look good. I think I just prefer the sponge. So with that, I'm just gonna go over it. And I'm just adding a little bit onto the sponge and putting it only where I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. I don't hate it. I don't think I'm super in love. Like I didn't put it on and go drop the sponge. Like I'm not doing that. But there's nothing to hate about it. I feel like mixing the 2 gave me my perfect shade, but I don't get super matte. I get almost like a semi matte, because I don't look dry which I appreciate. I don't look dry. It looks healthy. It looks somewhat natural. Like I don't feel like I look too cakey. I totally could go in with another application. So let me just see if it's buildable. So I'm gonna take 1 pump of the D80 and I'm gonna take 1 pump of the D70, and I'm doing more patting in. I'm not really doing a lot. I'm not gonna swipe. I'm just patting it into my face. Make sure you get those ears and go underneath those jawlines, down your neck, even a little behind the neck. You don't want no lines of demarcation. So yeah, that's the second application. I don't feel like it looked too much different than the first. I feel like I can still see a little bit of darkness underneath my eyes, right up in here, where concealer will go, but that's how I can gauge whether it's like a full coverage or not. So no, I wouldn't say that this is super full coverage, but what I would say is that I think it's a decent foundation to, is giving me enough that I would probably wear it to work or something. Initially. So now let me go finish the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I wanted to share something with you really quick. While I was doing my eye makeup, I definitely noticed that this foundation oxidizes pretty extremely. From when I first put it on, it got dramatically darker. Like it's dramatically darker than my neck and then when I first applied it. So keep that in mind. In the future, what I wouldn't do, I would not go in with the 80, but just go in with the 70 all by itself, especially now that I know that it does oxidize, because it will get a little darker. So just off the top, before I even give my final thoughts, I definitely wanted to pop in real quick and just let you guys know that this foundation does oxidize and it got a lot darker. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I'm almost done with my makeup, what I want to try, I want to go in with D90. I want to see what she do. I want to see it. But now that I know it oxidizes, that might be really, really dark. So I'm going to use a very, very light hand. Not too bad. It's a little on the really dark side for me. But if you are a darker complexion, I would use this on a regular basis, like, because it blends out beautifully. Like, it blended out nicely, but that's a little bit too dark. That made it a little bit too dark, and I used a very little bit. Okay guys, so my face is completely done, and I'm going to follow it up with the CoverGirl Look Lock Up All Day Setting Mist. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. It's kind of direct, like it's not the nicest mist. It's kind of very direct a little bit, but you can smell the alcohol. And then I like to always go behind it. Any setting spray that I use, I love to go behind it. With the Mario de Seiko spray, I just love it. I just feel like it gives, oh, that's the mist. And it melts any powder, anything. It just gives you a nice soft look. Okay, so what I will have to say is, once the foundation has set and got onto your face, I have to say it is quite pretty. As you can see, it's a very pretty foundation. I think it's actually a really good everyday foundation. If you're going to the store, or if you're going to work or something like that. This is not my Killam foundation. This is still not my foundation that I'm going to go on when I want that flawless look. I want that foundation that's just disrespectful. This is still not it. But I will say that it's pretty good for the drugstore. I will say it's great on the smile lines. My smile lines, I set it a little bit, but usually by now my foundation been uncreased, and it really doesn't matter what foundation it is. But this one is creasing when I say the tiniest bit, and I'm okay with that. I can live with that. So that it did pretty well. It played well with others. It blended beautifully, as well as it blended out with my concealer. To me, I could still see a little bit of my darkness around my mouth. I did not color correct, and I did that in purposely just to see what it does and what it doesn't do. But for the most part, like I said, for an everyday go to work type foundation, I think it works great. Now, I do not feel like there was much difference between the one application and then building it up to the two. Pretty good coverage if you do not have a lot of discoloration on your face. Now, if you have a lot of discoloration on your face, I cannot speak to that. I probably would go in with two coats or two applications, but if not, I feel like the one application with some concealer will do you just fine. As it did dry down, that is when I could see that it was definitely more matte. So if you are a really oily girl, I still don't think I would suggest a matte primer and this foundation, because you're going to get pretty matte. Upon application, you just don't see it, as you saw. Upon applications, it didn't look super matte, but as it dried down, that's when you definitely can see, okay, yeah, she's matte. So it does come with a matte primer, but for me, my recommendation, I probably wouldn't use it unless I am like the oiliest person in the world. And even then, I would go very light-handed with the foundation, because you don't want to be too matte. You don't want to be too matte. I have to say, I was quite surprised. I actually liked the primer. This is their skin primer, the skin smoothing primer. I have to say, I'm not mad at this primer. It definitely helped the foundation go on smoother. I didn't feel like the foundation wasn't sticking or it wasn't smooth. I feel like it laid off a nice little canvas for it. So I'm not mad at this on an everyday. Probably not my go-to as when I'm trying to kill the game. But every day, a little bit of protection underneath, I'm here for it. And it didn't leave a super duper ridiculous white cast. So I'm here for that. I'm here for that. So as of right now, 1 out of 10, I would give this foundation a good 8.5. Nothing necessarily was wrong with it. It wasn't my like, oh my God, it didn't leave me with the flawlessness as if like the first time I tried Fenty or my YSL foundation. However, there was definitely nothing. I can't sit here and say it did this, or it wasn't smooth, or it left my skin looking blotchy, as you can see. Yeah, I'm okay with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm very proud of CoverGirl. I feel like they came out with another banger. I feel like this was a good addition to the collection. I'm so glad that they came out with 40 foundations. I need all brands to take note and I need us to also take note that these brands are listening. CoverGirl listened, and they're coming out with more and more colors. They could have put a little bit more on the dark side, but growth is happening. You know, even their darkest shade, which is the D90, go a little darker. But they're listening. And the fact that they're listening makes me very encouraged and makes me want to support them even more, because if they listened before, they'll listen again, and the shade ranges will continue to expand. And I am always here for that. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe so you never miss another video with your girl Shalinda One. Be sure to become a part of the notification squad. Click that bell so the next time I upload a video, you will be the first to know about it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the very next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.